Toto guys.
One of the more pleasant surprises of last night's show was the fact that your voice is in such good shape now. I mean, that was, I think, the fourth time I've seen you. The first time being like, I don't know, 8 years or whatever, back in the Bay Area. But it seems like your voice has gotten better with age. Are you practicing a lot more these days? Or?
It's not a matter of practice, it's just a matter of time itself. It's a skill that's developed along with any other kind of skills, with time and with constantly their muscles, their techniques. That I feel better about them too. Thanks for the mentioning.
What really amazed me was the fact I guess it was with Maxine Waters and Vanetta Fields. Is that it? You know, two women who've done like God, who knows how many hundreds of sessions, and the typical thing would be they'll carry the vocalist, but in your case it seems like you just mix with them just like this.
I feel a good rapport with them. They fit in well. Vanetta and I have worked together a lot in the last 5-6 years. It's the first time I've worked with Maxine in quite a while. I recorded with her, but we haven't worked together. But I feel that that's pretty much the position that I've taken in this particular band. That they look for me and for vocal leadership. I used to play more guitar, and perhaps on the things that I'm doing coming up, I'll be playing more guitar. But right now, I'm pretty much the vocalist with this band. So.
How did you go about choosing, say, the songs for the concert? I mean, there were a lot of not a lot of oldies, but a couple of ones I didn't expect, like Running Blue and what was the other one?
It was Hercules and I Got Your Number, Dynaflow.
Yeah, Dynaflow. I think you opened with Dynaflow the last time you were here as well.
No, I haven't done that one in about 6 or 7
Is that right?
years. If that, maybe 7 or 8 years.
Why did you say drag one like Running Blue out? It seemed kind of odd.
I wanted to bring some horns into the arrangements this time, and that happens to be one of the best suited tunes I've ever done to horns. So.
How about like the other stuff? What goes into the criteria for deciding on what to do for a concert?
Well, for this particular group of shows, I wanted to. I felt this band was put together for these Japanese dates. So in trying to gauge what I think audiences would like to hear here, I go from what they've responded to in the past, and I've done in concert here before a lot of the material from Middleman album and Down to Then Left album and the Soap Degrees album, and I feel still that that's a lot of what is going to satisfy the audience here. But then, on the other hand, I wanted to go back a little bit and do some things that would, perhaps, show some other facets of the musicianship and the band and some of the things that I've written in the past.
It must be rough with like a repertoire. Say, I think there are about 100 songs from the 8 albums or so through the years.
We went through a lot of the songs, and we thought about. I would like to do a very long show. I'd like to do a 2.5 or 3 hour concert and just go through a lot of stuff. But on the other hand, it's just my own feeling that I don't know how much an audience here or anywhere is going to really enjoy my getting into a lot of that old stuff. On stage, I like to do a show that is concise and dynamic and musically includes a lot of stuff. And in going through a lot of the material from the earlier albums, and I didn't know how well that was really going to relate to a long show or these audiences, which it's just my feeling that they want to get to the stuff that they're familiar with, particularly in Japan, and so I kind of got away from the idea of doing a long show, and I just kept the things that would just sort of be pretty much to the point, and and the songs I chose from different times were pretty much concise, and arrangement-wise would fit into this general pattern. There's a certain energy level, there's a certain kind of music that lends itself to these arrangements, and that's why we chose this stuff. And it's another thing. In order to do a 2 or 3 hour show, it has to evolve. It means that in order for it to be interesting to us musically, we have to evolve into it and develop new arrangements toward it. And there simply isn't time. There wasn't time in putting together these shows to do that. That's the kind of thing that you take on the road, and night after night you develop 1 or 2 new songs. You see how they go, and you change the arrangements, and you sort of make them into something new. It's no good really to take an arrangement of a song that was done 10 years ago and copy the arrangement and just present it, because it's out of context. At least to this musical group, to myself, and to the audience, they just don't fit. The songs would have to evolve with this band and take on a new form in order for them to be meaningful to us. And we just didn't have the time to do that. And another thing is the stuff that we do off Middleman and Silk Degrees is very it's very demanding for me vocally. I'm using just about everything I've got in a concise amount of time. So I couldn't do 3 hours of very intense of ballads and of real Lidos and this and that. We've eliminated some of the songs from the set because I simply can't do them every night.
Is that right?
Yeah, some are were recorded in keys that I can't work in, and you can't just transpose them into other keys because the horns don't fit in that range, and they just don't orchestrate well. So it's just a matter. We've tried a lot of things, and we've cooked down the material that we started out with. We've come up with what I think is a comfortable show with a good diverse amount of, diversity of material and so forth.
It's kind of ironic that you don't do "You Can Have Me Anytime," because that's a real favorite here. I remember I lived in an apartment building before, and one of the guys lived over, and you could hear whatever he was playing. He'd play this song like 8 times in a row.
Oh, you poor devil.
And especially he played the guitar solo like 10 times after that, just alone, They really love that song here. So might be something to think about. One of my old favorites was, what is that, You're Mine? You used to do that at the end.
Oh, yeah,
end
yeah. We started doing that for these shows, too.
Is that right?
Unfortunately, we started up in Tahoe, and the altitude and the dry air and everything.
Takes a lot out of you.
It does. It just sort of blew the rest of the set.
I can recall, actually, the first time I saw you was at Stanford, and Les Dudek and Fool's Gold opened the show for you.
Oh, yeah.
And you dragged up Les for that You're Mine. That was a hot set.
That's hot.
Was that the only time you produced an album, Les Dudek's first one? First and last?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Why haven't you pursued that anymore?
I have, at the time that I did Les's, it just seemed that I had enough time to make my own albums, to go on the road and have a little time to myself and my family, and there was no other time to produce. I also didn't feel entirely comfortable in that situation. I felt I was better off if a musician like Les Dudek or whoever came to me for that producer's role. I can better put them on to someone who has the time and the ability to nurture that talent rather than doing it myself. I still feel myself pretty much as a musician in that situation, and I tend to I can be a good sounding board. I can be a good companion to a musician, and in some cases I might be a very good producer. I've had a number of inquiries in the last couple of years for me to produce.
Like what kind of people, out of curiosity? New bands or old bands?
Some new bands. Some bands that have been out there. Some friends of mine who pretty wide variety of inquiries have come in, but I haven't